Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 10 best Smash Ultimate players in the world currently. And I say currently because the official ranking season for Smash Ultimate is the entire year. And I'm not personally a fan of entire year ranking, so we're just going to be doing the second half of the year. So it's a bit of a better picture of how good these players actually are right now. And the second half of the year starts right after Gombo for reference, and let's just get right into it. I also have two honorable mentions, and that's going to be Hert and Yoshidora. And if you want to have these players in your top 10, I think that's fine. I just didn't put them in mind for a couple of reasons. For Yoshidora, it's going to be because his wins list just isn't strong enough, but he still had an amazing season. His worst place is a 13th at Terra. He's got 3rd at Kagura 11, 2nd at both Meisuma top 14.5 and Meisuma top 15, but his best win is going to be on Ken, which is a very good win, but that is the only win he has on a player that was in consideration for the top 10, and he's got some other good wins like Kananabe, T, Skyj, Snow. He's got 3 wins on Osimo, but it's just not enough for him to be top 10 in my mind. And the reason that Hert isn't in the top 10 is really just because he doesn't have a ton of events under his belt, so just not as many opportunities to get some good wins. But if Hert was going more stuff, I can guarantee you he would be in the top 10 because this season is pretty much false. He's got a 2nd place at Delta 5, 7th place at Kagura 11. His worst placement of the season is probably his 9th at Poor Priority 8, which is absolutely absurd. He's also got a couple regional wins under his belt, like Meisuma top 13.5. He has been incredible, and his win list is also pretty strong with wins over players like Ken, Mia, Aola. He's got 2 wins on Shuto and Yara. Like, he is a phenomenal player, and if he went to more, he would be top 10 absolutely. So our first player in the top 10 is going to be Tweak, and it was a very close competition between him and Hert for who would actually get that number 10 spot. They both have similar highs, both have really good wins. The ultimate reason that I gave it to Tweak was he has more reps under his belt at the major level, and he's been able to prove his consistency more times, and Hert also does have an unranked loss to Etsuji. Even though Etsuji is a phenomenal player, he's just not going to be ranked that high, and when we're looking at Tweak's placements, he's got a lot of 9th. He's got a 9th at Smash Factor, at SmashCon, at Luminosity Make Moves, and at Poor Priority. But 9th place at Super Major events with no bad losses is still very good. He's also got a 5th place at Watch the Throne, and most notably, that 2nd place at Terra, where he was able to get wins on Andres FN, Light, and Spargo. And let's actually take a look at Tweak's win list. He's got wins on Apollo Kage, Spargo, Andres FN, Osimo, Neo, Kurama, Bloom, Shattuck, and Skyj, as well as 2 wins on Light and Anathema. And for Tweak's standard, this season may be a little bit lower than he wanted, a handful of 9th, like I mentioned, but I think going into 2024, if we start seeing Tweak traveling to more events, because he still doesn't have a ton of reps under his belt, he is going to continue to be a major threat in this game, someone that can win super major events, and maybe even with the banjo. We don't know what the future holds. At number 9, you're going to have Zoma, and he's got a couple inconsistencies that are dragging him down this season, and I say dragging him down, he's still the 9th best player in the world, but he's got a 33rd at Smash Factor, ends up losing to Mar and Alendis, and a 33rd at Poor Priority, where he loses to Umeki and Kirash, so those are 2 unranked losses on his resume. That is a little bit unfortunate, but he's also got a 4th place at SmashCon, 2nd place at Shine, 7th place at Terrace, 3rd place at Invitational, really big win at Circus CFL. He's also got a win at Bears 400, 7th place at Luminosity Make Moves, and a 2nd place at Genesis Black. And his win list is also very impressive. He's got wins on Shattuck, Mars, Ouch, Yoshidora, Kurama, Beast Mode Paul, The Buzz, Tweak, Apollo Kage. He's got 2 wins on Neo, Andres Effed, and Mudes, and he's managed to beat Light 3 times. So when it comes to Zoma fighting off against the best of the best, he is typically doing pretty well, and I do think Zoma is good enough to potentially become the best player in the world. It's just a little bit tricky because of all the people in the top 4, majority of them are playing nightmare matches for Rob, except for like Aola, for example. But Zoma can do it. He can make those uphill battles possible. We've seen him do it before. We're just going to have to see if 2024 is his year, and who knows, it might be. At number 8, you're going to have the Buzz, and we're always talking about how the Japan trip changed Zoma. It changed the Buzz too, because he has just been spectacular ever since he come back, starting off with his 2nd place at SmashCon, which is definitely his best run of the season, one of the best runs of the season, period. He's also got a 2nd place at Invitational, where he finally defeats his Demon Light, and even though he loses the run back, that is a massive deal. He's also got a 3rd place at Circuit CFL, 9th place at Rise and Grind, 3rd place at Luminosity Make Moves. He does have a small slip up at Part Priority, where he gets 17th, but also he loses to Cola and Lima, so it's not that big of a deal. He's got a 9th place at Watch the Throne, and then finally a 7th place at the Coinbox IRL, and he's got wins on Mars, Ken, Light, Lima, Beast Mode Paul, Meister, Tweak, Mude, Siski, Bloom. He's also got 2 wins on Karama, Ken, and Mia. So he's got some of the best wins in the game. He's doing this all with Rosalina, which is pretty absurd to me. Now, in 2024, we are seeing the Buzz pick up this Steve. What is the chaos going to be with that? Is he finally going to be able to get the major win? We're just going to have to wait and see. But honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards yes, because his roster right now is very scary. Editing proof block here. I forgot to mention that Buzz technically does have a bad loss to Wrath at the Coinbox IRL, but the only reason Wrath is a bad loss is because he just doesn't go to a ton of events. He is a very, very good player, and I think going into 2024, he's planning on traveling more, so it's not that big of a deal in my mind. The 7th best player in the world is going to be Ken, and Solo Sonic has been doing him very well. His worst placement is a 9th at Kagaribi 11, where he lost to Mia and Yoshidora. He's got 5th place at SmashCon, Delta 5, 2nd place at Wave Champions 5, a win at Wave Champions 6, 4th place at Subigeki 15 and Port Priority 8, and a 5th place at Watch the Throne. Now, he does have a bad loss to Matsunabe, and I should have clarified this at the start of the video. When I say bad loss, I mean a player that's probably not going to be ranked top 50. Obviously, Matsunabe is a phenomenal player, but when you are a player of Ken's caliber, you can't really afford to have losses that aren't in the top like 30, 40 areas, so that's why it's a bad loss. But luckily for Ken, his win list definitely makes up for it because he's got wins on Mudes, Zomba, Jogabu, Hiro, Karama, Spargo, Kananabe, Umeki, Light, MK Leo, Shuton, 2 wins on Osimo and Jagaimo. The Light and Kananabe wins are especially impressive for me because that is the matchup that Sonic is supposed to struggle in. He managed to beat both of the top Fox players in the world, and I gotta give Ken massive props because in the middle of the year, he was definitely struggling a little bit, had a couple lower placements, nothing abysmal, but to his standard, they just weren't super great. But ever since he's been going solo Sonic, all those have completely disappeared. He has picked things up and has just been crushing every single event that he goes to. You gotta give him massive props, and going into 2024, I think he's just going to keep doing the same thing. Editing proof block, I also forgot to mention that he has a 5th place at Delfino Mazza. Our 6th best player in the world is going to be Light, and he does have one little inconsistency at Luminosity Make Moves, ends up getting 25th there, losing to WebJP and Apollo Kage, and the WebJP loss is kind of similar to the Wrath loss that I mentioned earlier for Buzz. WebJP is probably not going to be ranked super high because he doesn't have too many events under his belt, but we all know how talented that guy is, and I'm not going to sweat it too much, and the rest of Light's season has been obviously very good. He's got a 13th at SmashCon, 1st place at Shine, 4th place at Terra, 1st place at Invitational, 2nd place at Cirque du CFL, and a 2nd place at Rewired Fest, 5th place at Port Priority, and a 9th place at Watch the Throne. And Light's season is really good because his win list is so good. He's got wins on Bloom, Rafflo, Beast Mode Paul, Shattuck, Hert, Kananabe, Tweak, Tarek, 2 wins on Spargo and Mudes, and 3 wins on Buzz and Zoma. To have 2 wins on Spargo is especially impressive because Spargo has winning records versus Glutiny, versus Mia, versus Sonics, versus Aola. So to have a winning record on Spargo this season is insane to me, and 2023 hasn't been the best year for America. We got no American players in the top 5, but going into 2024, I think Light could be top 5, Zomba could be top 5, Tweak could be top 5, the Buzz Steve might make him top 5. There are so many American players that I think could absolutely farm in 2024, and Light is definitely on the forefront of that list. And this is where the first gap in the list comes. Everyone below the gap is definitely below, and everyone above the gap is definitely above, starting with our 5th best player in the world, Glutiny. His season has been very good. He's got pretty much one bad placement with a 17th at Port Priority, where he ends up losing to Beast Mode Paul and T. Those are both players that are still going to be ranked in the top 50, so not the end of the world. He also does have 2 losses to Rarkyar at the Chorus Smash Cup, and he's a player that's probably not going to be in the top 50, but it's only at the regional level, so I'm not including it as heavily. And at the major level, Gluto's just been farming everyone. He's got a 4th place at Smash Factor, 2nd place at Delfino Mazza. He's got a massive win at Terra, as well as a massive win at Rewired Fest, 2nd place at Rise and Grind, 1st place at Tech Republic, 1st place at UFA, and a 7th place at Watch the Throne. And the Glutiny win list is so juicy. He's got wins on Ken, SkyJ, Shiny Mark, Spargo, Lima, Lugi, Big D, Buzz, Karama. He's got 2 wins on Siski, 2 wins on Mudes, 2 wins on Light, 2 wins on MK Leo, 3 wins on Rafflo, 3 wins on Bloom, 3 wins on Tarek, and 3 wins on Tweak. I have never seen anyone push their character as far as Glutiny has. The bike tech that he's been doing with Wario has completely rejuvenated his character. He has put so much work in, and clearly it has been paying off in massive dividends. And this is where the second gap in the ranking happens. I know Glutiny is alone on an island, but it's true. Their top 4 players in the world are definitely the top 4 players in the world, starting off with Sonics. Now, he's got that little blip at SmashCon where he ends up losing to Icy Mist and DD, which aren't great losses. Like, Icy Mist, amazing player. She probably won't be top 50. DD definitely won't be top 50, but he's a hidden boss player, so I'm not really worried about that one. But the rest of Sonic's season has been, well, top 4 caliber. He's got a second place at Smash Factor X, second place at Luminosity Make Moves, massive win at Poor Priority 8. So he's won one of the 3 P tiers this season. He's got a second place at Watch the Throne and a win at the Coin Box IRL. He's got a win on Riddles, to Buzz, Big D, Pocket, Cola, MK Leo, Karama, Meister, Siski, Lima. He's beaten Aola twice. He's beaten Ken twice. He's beaten Mia 3 times and Spargo 3 times. Sonics has been phenomenal, and I would favor Sonics versus both Mia and Aola. The only reason he isn't ranked higher than them is because Mia and Aola have had flawless seasons where you do have that little blip at SmashCon. But outside of that, Sonics has been arguably the best player in the world. And it's pretty much the exact same case scenario with our third best player in the world, which is going to be Spargo. That 49th at SmashCon is just a nail in the coffin. 2 bad losses to Lai and Aaron. And obviously they are very good players, but you can't have a sub 30 loss, much less a sub 50 loss when you're trying to be the best in the world, because Mia and Aola just don't have those. He's also going to have a 17th place at Port Priority, but he ends up losing to Ken and Riddles there, so it's not as big of a deal. And the rest of Spargo's season has been incredible. He's got a win at Smash Factor. He's got a win at Delfino Mazza, 3rd place at Terra, 4th place at Rewired Fest, win at Luminosity Makes Moves. He's got a win at Watch the Throne and a 2nd place at the Coin Box IRL. He's also got a bunch of really solid wins, including Siski, Ken, Kameme, Beast Mode Paul, Shattuck, Karama, Cola, DeBuzz, Tarek, Aola, Apollo Kage, Mia, Lima. He's got 2 wins on Shiny Mark and MK Leo, 3 wins on Glutiny, and 7 wins on Sonics. If you had Spargo as your best player in the world, because he can consistently beat Mia, he can consistently beat Aola, like those are 2 very good matchups for him. He usually beats Sonics. I think that's fine, but that SmashCon performance is going to be the thing that is holding him back for me. But going into 2024, he's got a reset. He's not going to have those bad placements, and he's definitely still got what it takes to be number 1. And our second best player in the world is going to be Aola. Now, for all of 2023, Aola is definitely the best, but just for the second half of the year and the current state of Ultimate, I don't think he's number 1, and he still obviously has a very good season. He's got a win at SmashCon, so he won one of the 3 big P tiers. He's got a win at Sumabato SP Ultimate. He's got a win at Delta 5, 2nd place at Kaguribi 11, 1st place at Misuma Top 14.5, 3rd place at Port Priority 8, and a 4th place at Wash the Throw, which is his worst placement of the season. He's got wins on Big D, Riddles, Neo, Hert, Zachary, Apollo Kage, Osimo, Light, Tweak, Bloom. He's got 2 wins on Glutiny, 2 wins on Kananabe, 2 wins on Ken, 2 wins on Masa, 2 wins on Mia, 3 wins on DeBuzz, and 3 wins on Yoshidora. Aola is still very good at this game. I do think players like Spargo, Sonics, Mia, they may have his number right now, but the Aegis is going to be very important going into 2024. I think if Aola wants to stay the best player in the world like he is for all of 2023, the Aegis is going to be the key to that, and I have faith in his secondary characters because this guy does not get nearly enough credit. He is insanely good at this game, and the fact that it feels weird that he's the second best player in the world really shows how good this guy is. So the current best Smash Ultimate player in the world, in my opinion, is going to be Mia. His season has been so good. Not only does he have more events than pretty much every single pro in the top 10, but he's also just been winning like every single one of those events. The only small blip he has on his radar is a loss to Ron at Sumabato SP Ultimate, but outside of that, let's just look at his results. He's got 3rd at SmashCon, 1st at Kowloon 7, 1st at Maesuma Top 14, 3rd at Sumabato SP Ultimate, which is his worst event, as I mentioned. 3rd place at Delta 5. He won Kaguribi 11, so he won one of the 3 big P tiers. 1st at Rise and Grind, 1st at Subigeki 15, 2nd at Port Priority, 1st at Maesuma Top 15, and a 3rd place at Watch the Throne. And I'm not going to list all of Mia's wins. I'm just going to put a picture of it on screen because this list is very long, significantly longer than every other player on this list. And just look at this. This is absolutely insane. Mia has been absolutely grinding this season, and it's paid off because I believe he is the best player in Smash Ultimate, and I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know I've been on a little bit of a break, but I'm getting ready to come back into content. I hope y'all are ready to watch that content. If there's anything I left out, got wrong, or if you just want to say hi, leave a comment down below. Be sure to sub, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.